The story yesterday was Jesus Luzardo.
Hey.
I think we all can now say, all right,
Maybe he was
tipping pitches. Because when they didn't know it was coming yesterday, they couldn't touch it. He was getting 10 strikeouts. That was the guy that we saw the first 2 months of the season before the blow-ups of his last two starts.
Yeah, man, and that was something we needed. Because there's a lot of people, first of all, shout out to all the people that came yesterday to the morning shows, meet and greet. It was a nice day, and it was for the Phillies to be in the position that they were in. It was a pretty decent crowd. It was a real decent crowd, and they stepped up, man. It was one of those things. They had to do this.
Well, they did, and Luzardo had. No matter what happened yesterday, him pitching well was always going to be the most important thing. Whether they won 3-2, lost 3-2, won whatever, like that, we need to get him back on track, and they did. And the reason last week, and you were out after his second bad start, so you weren't here the day after. I wasn't panicking on him because his velocity didn't dip, right? Like it didn't seem like it was an injury. It just seemed like they were on everything, and I thought that was correctable. And it turns out that he believes, and the Phillies believe, that he may have actually been tipping to the point where the Blue Jays knew it was coming, and maybe the Brewers did too. In fact, the story this morning, Matt Gelb of The Athletic had it, that he changed his glove. There was a bigger glove, and the Phillies realized when he was gripping his pitches, with runners on base, he was starting the grip before he put his hand in his glove, so like the runner on base could see what he was doing, where the ball was in his hand, and they may have been signaling to the batter, like, hey, this is probably what's coming because he's holding the changeup grip or he's holding whatever grip he was holding. So it's amazing how one little thing that you probably don't even notice in the moment could have caused that, because it was different. Like the Brewers and Blue Jays rocked him, and then yesterday the Cubs, who were better than both those teams, they couldn't do anything.
Isn't it? I just think it's kind of interesting. That's how I started off, because it's about to go bad.
Yeah,
that it feels like. Doesn't it feel like for whatever reason this year the Phillies are late to adjust just a tad?
Yeah, a little bit.
It just feels like that. Like,
well, it took two bad starts for them to pick that up.
Yeah, it just feels like, I mean, not to throw anybody under the bus, but who y'all got working? Who y'all got watching the film? Who y'all got up there, being progressive and getting ahead of some of these things? So when you talk about the Bryce Harper elbow thing, you're talking about the Aaron Nola thing, and now this. Y'all probably need to go have a conversation with somebody.
Well, so you mentioned who do you have up there looking at these things. I found this part of the story I read this morning fascinating about Luzardo and how the other teams may have picked it up quickly. You ready for this? Mm-hmm. It may have been AI, Hugh.
Allen Iverson?
Well, no, artificial intelligence. Ready? So this is from the article this morning. Quote, in the PitchCom era, teams no longer have to devote energy to legal sign stealing tactics, right? Because they have the PitchCom, it goes right into the pitcher's ear. There's no more of the signs. Okay. Mm-hmm. That means more attention on how opposing pitchers and catchers move. Most baseball people would argue every pitcher has a tell. It's a matter of how actionable it is. The sport is filled with paranoia because, as they say, baseball is like life. Here's the line that got me. Rumors are rampant about teams using machine learning, artificial intelligence to analyze rival pitchers. Let me just kind of break that down quickly. It seems like teams are able to use AI to quickly look at a video of a pitcher and say, that's the difference, right? Like, his arm moved, his foot moved, his glove's in a different position, and then they relay it to the players, and the players use it on the field. So I don't know if that's what the Blue Jays used last week, but it seems like teams are getting quicker in picking up a tell. So if you're holding your glove one way, and that means a certain pitch is coming, they're going to know fast.
Yeah, and AI, for whatever reason, that has been my algorithm for the last couple of weeks.
Oh, that AI gorilla
singing
yesterday?
it's the Yeti vlog.
Oh, the Yeti vlog.
Of course. I've been on the AI Yeti vlog.
There we go.
And, man, it's pretty funny.
Yeah.
But what they're able to do with AI now, man, it's changed quickly. And this is what people were talking about, how AI was going to revolutionize everything and change everything. Just didn't know it was going to be in baseball, and your ability to be able to identify pitches quickly. I was about to say quickerly, but that didn't sound like that.
Yeah, we could use some AI to clean that up.
But yeah, to identify it quickly. So yeah, you have to be on top of stuff like that.
Yeah,
you really do.
The Phillies obviously weren't the first time, and the Blue Jays blasted him, but they were yesterday, and I just sigh of relief that he pitched well. Let's hear from Topper after the game on Luzardo and his performance.
Were you and your staff a little anxious going into today's start because he had struggled so much and how important he is?
I wouldn't say anxious. I think our bullpen we were a little bit light in the bullpen today. That's probably what I was most concerned about. But no, as far as Luzardo, he's got great stuff, and everybody's going to have some bad outings, back-to-back bad outings, but his stuff just outweighs everything.
Well, that's why I wasn't worried. The stuff wasn't down. It wasn't like he went from 97 to 92. I mean, I didn't think he was hurt. So it's just a sigh of relief. He pitched well. Phillies get a series win. They're off today. One more from Topper, though, on Bryce Harper. What's the latest on Bryce and the progress here?
Bryce taking ground balls Friday, is that a sign that he's responding well to the treatment?
Yeah, I think so. I think he's feeling better. He will not swing yet. But,
Okay.
yeah.
And affects him most on swings?
Yes.
If the ball goes well Friday with the ground balls, what's the next step after that?
Swinging, but he's got to be pain-free.
Yeah, that didn't make me feel any better. So we can't swing a bat still. So until we can start swinging the bat, obviously he's not. When did he go on the IL? On Friday? I think it was Friday night he went on the IL. So we're almost a week clear. It feels like there's almost no chance this is just a 10-day IL stint and he's back. Yeah, he's back the beginning of next week. I doubt that. But we'll keep monitoring the Bryce situation. You can react to the Phillies as well. Big Luzardo start. And how about Alec Bohm hitting the ball over the wall? That was a fun thing to see. We don't see that very often in Major League parks. It's usually just been the minor league parks this year.
Yeah, and I probably was a couple of days off of that, but I did kind of call that, didn't I?
You called it for Monday.
Well, yeah, I'm saying,
He
but
grounded to a double play in a big spot.
But yeah, he did cost me some money.
Yeah,
he did. But I'm just saying,
your money's fine. You keep hitting parlays.
I ain't missing 5-leg parlay hitter over here.
That's because you had help yesterday. All right, 215-592-9494.
I'm gonna ask again today. I'm gonna ask some more.
Kyle, should I start giving him the opposite of what I think in the parlay so he loses?
I mean, yeah, you have to stop helping him
Wait
in
a minute,
general because I'm tired of hearing.
For real?
Well, you're not sharing the money or the credit. I mean, you got to share one of the two
I'm
things.
$40 up. I'm up 40.
Wow. I can't tell you anything.